for Purdue. And Jenny, what a mature, poised, smart pinch hit at bat that was.
Yeah, I mean, all you ask for from your pinch hitter is to give your team a chance, right? That you go in there and your job is to have a good quality at bat, and whether it's we need you to get it in the outfield for a sac fly, we need you to put the ball in play, whatever it is, we trust that you're having good quality warm-ups or pregame warm-ups, pregame at-bats, whatever it may be, and we feel good about what's happening, and we're putting you in to see what you can do. And she just did a phenomenal job right there. I think solid textbook what you should do as a pinch hitter.
Gabby Salo's going to exit this game. Only 3 of the runs that came across were earned. And in comes the 6'1" freshman from Staten Island, Jordan Felci, facing this lefty-heavy top of the order for the Boilermakers.
Yeah, and Felci's a lefty herself, and because of that, that could be a good matchup to really go and just change it up a little bit. Felci's going to throw low to mid-60s. She's got a super heavy drop and a really good changeup. That's kind of her go-to, that she's just going to be drop, change, drop, change. She's got big levers, so that's kind of what they're looking to use from her. She hasn't got a lot of outings here, just the 5 innings, a little bit over 5 innings. And so they're looking to see what she can do here. And ultimately, at this point, it's kind of about getting outs. That's what they need from her. Find a way to mix the pitches and get outs. It's keeping it in the park, which is what a drop ball is going to do, and mix the speeds to get weak ground balls and keep it in the infield and get outs.
She comes in with runners at the corners. The speedy part of the lineup due up top of the order with Chloe Banks, and just 1 out as well. And this is what Coach Healy told us. You're going to see a heavy dose of lefties with both Purdue and Michigan this week here in Oklahoma City. And now good depth on this staff with 7 different pitchers to choose from.
And Coach Healy did say that she might use her against these lefty lineups, knowing that she thought it would be a good lefty-lefty matchup here. So it's not a surprise that this is the relief pitcher that she chooses to use in a situation like this to get these outs.
Going over to second is Condon. So now 2 runners in scoring position here for Purdue. They continue to apply pressure.
Good pitch there on the corner. For Banks just to see some of these pitches, understand what the movement is, what the corners are.
Chopped right back to Felci. She looks over at third, makes the throw to first. That is out number 2.
And that's a huge out too, right? One that doesn't go far into the infield, goes straight back to the pitcher Felci. So she's able to make the quick play, takes 1 look over at Ramos at third base and makes the quick out so that she doesn't advance.
Mariah Poehler, top 10 in the nation in batting average, .517 entering today. Doesn't have a hit so far, did reach on a walk a couple innings ago. But she leads this team in RBI, 21 this season from that number 2 spot.
Really, for somebody like Poehler, she's been fairly quiet this game. They've done a good job limiting what she's done. That's the thing about this Purdue team. Despite the fact that she has the best numbers on the team, it's not just her in this lineup that they have to be careful of.
Poehler is going to reach base. Now for the second time, bases loaded again. 2 outs. We've batted around in this 5th inning. Kendall Bailey started things off with a hit by pitch. Scored on the 2-run home run by Delaney Reef right after that. That was all this inning.
And this is the thing, when you don't have a lot of innings and you're really trying to work through a count, you're at the top of the lineup. You've seen your veteran pitcher really struggle at the top of this lineup, right? Now, with being as young as you are and as inexperienced as you are, trying to find the zone can be scary sometimes. And whether it's scary or whether it's trying to be too perfect or whatever it may be, you can insert the word there, but you start missing the zone. And you're kind of seeing that a little bit. And a walk right here can be dangerous because now you have nowhere to put her.
Responds with a strike there to even up the count. Kendall Bailey coming off a series against UCLA where she hit her first career home run. Coach Rizzotti, who coaches third base, that it was all smiles as she was coming around. They just felt like it was coming. We were talking to her about how it was going to happen. Just a validation moment for Bailey. So much praise for the senior from Birmingham, Alabama, for how she has just continued to work and now take up this number 3 spot. And showing her plate discipline here in this at-bat. She's got a 3-ball count.
You can see that ball just curving a little bit off that plate. Just missing too much. You can see Emmy Wells even confirming that. Coach Healy there in the dugout saying it's missing too far off.
Kendall Bailey with the ground ball. And that will do it. They bat around in that 5th inning, increase their lead 7-1 as Purdue had its way at the plate.
To my son, I've never been the cool dad. I always want to know what he's up to online, but with TikTok's privacy settings being on by default for teens under 16, accounts are set to private. He cannot send or receive DMs, and only his friends can comment. So he can post away, and I've got one less thing to worry about.
So, Dad, how old do you have to be to get a tattoo?
Teen safety settings on by default.
Okay, Little Wendy's hack. If you want a super fresh, high-quality burger every time, tell them you want a hamburger. That's a hack, right? No? A hack-free burger made fresh for you? Gotta be Wendy's.
Hello. Love?
When being ignored isn't your idea of friendly service,
Hello. Hello.
Hello. Sarah?
it matters where you stay. Hilton, for the stay.
On Sunday, a softball doubleheader right here from Devon Park comes your way. Boilermakers taking on the Terrapins of Maryland, followed by the Badgers against Michigan. Coverage begins at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 Pacific, only on the Big Ten Network and the Fox Sports app on Sunday. To wrap up this last weekend of Big Ten softball taking over Oklahoma City and Devon Park, the mecca of softball, home of the Women's College World Series, USA softball as well. This will also be the home for the Los Angeles Games in the Olympics in 2028. The softball competition will be right here in Oklahoma City as well. Wisconsin now facing a 6-run deficit, have the bottom of the order due up in this inning as Kendall Klochek has continued to roll, really dictate.
Yeah, Klochek, in this situation too, now that you have such a lead in the game, the key for her is just to remain sharp. And she had a long break there in the last inning, the top of this inning. To really step in and just keep doing what she's been doing is the important thing here. And you can relax a little bit, but at the same time, you have to maintain your sharpness. And she really has been so solid here.
Flared up the middle. And Lucy can't beat it out. It's out number 1.
Campbell was playing deep. She had to make a quick play there on Lucy, but still made the great play.
Lucy has 4 home runs this season, tied for the team lead entering today. That time, just like most Badgers in this game, have not been able to have solid contact against Klochek.
If you have enough good movement, like Klochek has so far this game, and you mix it around enough, you don't allow the batters to really settle in. And that's really what she's done. Coach Rizzotti said the changeup's been a game changer this year. And that's kind of what we've seen. She's mixed it enough. It's made her screw, her curve, and her rise really a little bit different. She said the biggest difference is it's allowed her to get 2 to 3 times through the lineup, where before she kind of had to go half a game and switch it up a little bit. And we're seeing that here. You know, she's not even 2 times through the lineup here. And she's just so effective because she's able to get out of the inning quicker. She's not giving up so many hits. It allows her to work deeper in the game.
Wells trying to keep this at-bat alive. When we talk about Klochek, it's always so rewarding, even from the outside, to see the number of players who continue to reinvent themselves, to add elements to their game. She's a senior right now. Wells tries to square it up. Doesn't get a good piece of it, and Meeks will make the out. 2 up, 2 down in this inning for Klochek. Not the first time we've seen that.
Shortstop, 21, Ellie Hubbard.
You can see the shadows that are kind of coming across too, between the circle and home plate. Sometimes can be an issue.
That bounces away from Chloe Banks. And Ellie Hubbard is going to reach base. And Jenny, I was just going to ask if that can affect the read you get off the bat initially with this shadow situation.
Yeah, I think sometimes it can. I know from the pitcher's circle specifically, you can see it a little bit that you can't necessarily see the ball come off the bat as well. In this situation, I think on this hit, it was just a good, solid hit, and Banks just didn't quite get to it in time. She had a great attempt to try to dive for it, get her glove underneath it, and she just didn't get there in time. Good, solid hit by Hubbard. Really, for Wisconsin, it's kind of about chipping away, trying to break it open, piece a couple things together against Klochek, because the thing with Klochek has been that when she gives up a hit, she's been able to get outs after it. Wisconsin really hasn't been able to put anything together, rally.
Their only score coming off a solo home run from Hillary Blomberg. That made it 3-1. Still in favor of Purdue. They have been on top since the first inning of this game. I think you're right. There has not been that flurry of offense following any time they've been able to find that kind of spark.
Yeah, I mean, you have the long ball, but when you're a team that doesn't rely, I mean, I always think about Ohio State in this sense, just because right now they rely a lot on the long ball. But when you're thinking about a team that doesn't rely solely on the long ball, you have to manufacture runs in different ways. You have to find a way to piece a couple runs together. You have to put some short game into it. And in order to do that, you can't get your hits with 2 outs. You have to find a way to do it sooner and do it in different ways. Wisconsin just hasn't been able to settle in that way.
And despite the Badgers hitting 11 home runs over the weekend series at Illinois, really not a huge part of their game. Their team leaders have only 4 apiece. Bojan came in as a pinch hitter, doubled her first at bats, and working a quality one here against Klochek. In the dirt, gobbled up by Reef, and it's a full count for Bojan.
Those are one of those situations to me. Did that get far enough away where you felt like Hubbard could have advanced to second base, and ultimately in this situation, Bojan walks anyway? But is that where you need to be aggressive enough to try to advance a runner into scoring position?
Top of the order due up here for Wisconsin.
I was going to say, just sometimes in situations like that, aggressiveness is where it pays off, and sometimes it doesn't pay off. But ultimately, if you're willing to be a little bit more aggressive and take a few more risks, sometimes that means a little bit more in an end result.
Maybe also, Jenny, too, when you're looking at a 6-run deficit, just try and go for it.
Yeah, sometimes you just got to do it. In the end, though, I mean, Bojan walked anyway, so you got 2 runners on, but
Olivia Bark, the leadoff hitter for Wisconsin, sends this one out to right field. Banks barely has to move, and that is the end of the inning. Wisconsin tried to threaten, still comes up empty against Kendall Klochek.
To my son, I've never been the cool dad. I always want to know what he's up to online, but with TikTok's privacy settings being on by default for teens under 16, accounts are set to private. He cannot send or receive DMs, and only his friends can comment. So he can post away, and I've got one less thing to worry about.
So, Dad, how old do you have to be to get a tattoo?
Teen safety settings on by default.
Okay, Little Wendy's hack. If you want a super fresh, high-quality burger every time, tell them you want a hamburger. That's a hack, right? No? A hack-free burger made fresh for you? Gotta be Wendy's.
Hello. Hello?
When being ignored isn't your idea of friendly service,
Hello? Hello.
Hello. Sarah?
it matters where you stay. Hilton, for the stay.
A 6-run lead for Purdue over Wisconsin here in Oklahoma City, week 2 of Big Ten softball's takeover. It's been mostly scattered RBI singles, except for this one from Delaney Reef, sending it out of the ballpark, a 2-run bomb, her second this season, and she is at the plate again here in the 6th.
Yeah, Delaney Reef showed her power on that. She shows what she can do, but really Purdue, indicative of what they've been able to do offensively, is here's another long ball.
Sends it deep once more, but just foul. Oh boy, this is a new pitcher too with the freshman, Felci, knowing maybe she's not going to throw that one anytime soon.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Purdue's really, again, they've used their short game, their speed, and their power, but Reef really showing. You could see Reef really trying to hope that one was fair, and a little bit bummed out on that one. Good inside pitch, though, for Felci, and ultimately that's just a long strike. That's really, if you're a pitcher, that's how you have to think about it.
Reef again, hard hit down the left field line.
You could see it there, like the last inning that Felci threw that pitch to lefties. It was a pitch that was kind of cutting too far outside to a lefty, too far inside to a righty here to Reef. She's turning on it well. But if you keep it inside enough on her, even if she squares up well on it, it will never be fair because she's keeping it inside enough on her, if that makes sense. So, again, home run or not, goes over the fence. Doesn't matter as long as it's foul. That's how you get ahead on a batter.
Lined up the middle, a base hit. On the last couple at bats for Delaney Reef. This time a leadoff single.
Yeah, this one just did not get inside enough. This one actually in the outside corner. She just takes her barrel and drives it right back up the middle. Gets herself on base, leadoff hitter.
In Purdue, which has gotten contributions, actually even more so from the bottom 2/3 of the order.
Yeah.
But we're right in the heart of it right now. Julia Gossett was the one who got it started off with a 2 RBI single back in the first, giving the Boilermakers a 2-0 lead. And they have just carried that momentum each and every inning since. Gossett leads Purdue with 23 RBI this season. Swing and miss there for Felci.
And that drop ball that you see coming from Felci kind of has an across the plate. She's a lefty, right? So it curves inside to a righty. It curves and drops at the same time. And you saw it kind of tumble low and in to Gossett on that pitch.
Line drive right into the glove of Hubbard. 1 away. Still solid contact there from Gossett as Scarmardo comes up. Or rather, it's going to be a pinch hitter, Ryan Ross, for the first time today.
How about the garden gloves? A lot of hitters use garden gloves, a little bit more durability. Change it up a little bit.
You know, I hadn't noticed that. What's the story with that?
I love it. I've seen a lot of batters use garden gloves. I guess they're work gloves, but sometimes when you take a lot of hacks, a lot of swings, a typical batting glove you'll break too many holes in them.
Reef will scurry over to second. That ball getting past Wells.
And this is, again, aggressiveness. This one definitely gets too far away, so easy to advance on this one. Reef gets in scoring position. Put a Boilermaker in scoring position, though. They find a way to score them in a lot of cases. It's been really beneficial for them to find a way to make things happen in this game. They've come up big time with their hits.
They've been crafty. They've been scrappy. Great ways to describe Purdue's offense.
In a lot of different ways, too. Short game, long ball.
Ross will chop this one. That bounces off the shortstop. And she's going to land at first. Runners at the corners, 1 out against the freshman pitcher. And for another inning, Purdue in scoring position and threatening.
You've got to give these pinch hitters some credit, too, because they've been putting the ball in play as well. They've been putting quality at-bats together. This one just bouncing off Hubbard. Foster.
Your attention, please. Re-entering for Purdue. Now running
Does a good job trying to make the play on an assist. Just doesn't have the ability to make it happen. Ramos goes back in the game. Excuse me.
Scarmardo comes back in.
Scarmardo goes back in the game. Thank you.
And here is Ramos at the plate. Has a triple and a single in back-to-back at-bats.
You do have to give credit to these pinch hitters. We've seen Condon the last inning, Russ now this inning. 2 pinch hitters that have come through big time for Purdue. Finding a way to get hits, get on base.
The throw down to second. And safely back at first is Scarmardo.
Good job by Wisconsin's defense to execute there, not allow these runners to advance. And of course, Scarmardo trying to get in that rundown. Hubbard does a good job just running her back, keeping Reef honest there at third base.
Chopped up to short again and bounces off of Hubbard. A run comes across, it gets into the outfield. Now a runner on third. But another one comes across for Purdue. When you hit the ball in play, you never know what can happen. That's the mindset of the Boilermakers as they take a 7-run lead.
Well, and you have to hit it hard, and this one just took kind of an unfortunate last hop there right into Hubbard and bounces further away. And it does allow Reef to score. Russ gets all the way to third. Ramos takes a massive turn as if she's trying to take second base. Has to stop, pivot back to first base. Almost gets thrown out. You can see it here. Takes a big stop, stumbles, and has to hustle back to first base. Everybody's safe.
We saw that last play too. Wisconsin's 4th error. That's back-to-back E6s in this inning. And still runners at the corners. And still 1 out. Here is Olivia Meeks in the number 8 spot, who has an RBI single under her belt today.
I saw a little frustration on Hubbard's face there.
Getting over to second, 2 in scoring position is Ramos.
You could see how when Meeks squared to bunt there And as she kept that bunt out and continued to offer, the corners came in. The middles had to cover, and that left second base open for Ramos to take it easily. 2 in scoring position.
And Purdue is really putting Wisconsin in a position backs against the wall, because we're at a 7-run game right now. If they cross another over home plate, then Wisconsin's going to have to be forced to extend this game in the bottom of the inning.
That's right, the 8-run rule. That would mean that Purdue could get 3 runs and get out.
Belcher snags that ball, looks over at third, and that is out number 2. Mark our calendar for July 12th for the BTN Big 10K returning to Soldier Field in Chicago. Scan the QR code, register right now at btnbig10k.com to be part of the 10K or the 5K race and the post-race tailgate party. Always a festive atmosphere. Every Big Ten fan is invited. You get some team-specific apparel as well. Always a great event, especially now in the expanded Big Ten. Number 9 hitter Ashlyn Campbell will take strike 1. You alluded to it earlier, Jenny. The depth that Purdue is displaying in this game, where everyone seems to know their role and their strengths and being able to come up with big opportunities.
Yeah, and I mean, it's a well-rounded team. They have the ability to make it happen. They found a way to be firing on all cylinders today, and it might not always happen this way, but today it is. They found a way to see what they need to attack the pitches that they want to hit, but they've also not expanded the strike zone.
Ashlyn Campbell up the middle. Another run will cross. She's going to sprint over to second and gets there in time, lets out a smile. Just exemplifies this afternoon for Purdue softball, still 2 in scoring position.
I love that response at second base. A solid hit from Ashlyn Campbell right up the middle. All she wanted to do was put the ball in play. A solid throw home to stop the second runner, but Campbell takes advantage. And how about that reaction? The celebration at second base, plating the runner. That, by the way, the 8th run. Now in a run rule situation for Wisconsin, where if they do not play to run there in the bottom of this inning, game will be over.
I think they're having fun out here in Oklahoma City.
I think they were hoping for that extra run. They were trying to get that run roll.
Oh, Purdue trying to build back up this program again, advanced to the Big Ten tournament last season. But you see the numbers working in their favor this year, just on paper, not just their winning percentage, but those main offensive statistics, the ERA as well. You can see little by little. Coach Rizzotti says maybe it's not always wins how we measure progress. That's what we want it to be.
Yeah.
But we're also looking at so many different other markers.
Yeah, and I think, you know, you can look at those win percentages and you can say, well, you know, you were 480 win percentage and you're just over 500 right now. Like, that's not great, but it doesn't matter. You've got to start somewhere. And Coach Rizzotti, what she does for this program and what she's done so far is she's giving them a chance to believe that they can do it. And you can see it the way they play. And every single day they come out here and they compete, and in these moments you know that they're going to get a chance every single time they come out and compete, and they're going to play hard, and they're going to be contenders in the Big Ten for the next several years.
New pitcher coming in for Wisconsin, their third in this game here today. It started with Gabby Salo, and now Maddie Bellevue is coming in, a 5'6" freshman from Southern California.
Bellevue's she's a rise ball pitcher. She's here to just get outs at this point. And she's not one that they intended to go with. But in this lineup, they've got to get outs here. You have to remember, they've got another game tomorrow. So you don't want to go into the depth of this lineup more than you have to, into this pitching staff. You want to save some of your pitchers for tomorrow. And if you expose all of them, then that puts you more at a disadvantage for tomorrow. And so you're utilizing pitchers that you typically wouldn't go with in relief as much as you normally do. You've got Molly Jacobson, Shelby Jacobson, and Kendra Lewis. They're your typical other three pitchers that you would use more so than a Jordan Felci or a Maddie Bellevue.
Only one inning pitched this season. And now has to face this formidable top of the order with Banks, Poehler, and Bailey, but 2 away.
And sometimes the unknown is helpful when you get here in these later innings. These are not 2 pitchers probably that Purdue has scouted or prepared for. So they're forced to come in and learn as they go. Sometimes learning as you go is very difficult. And Bellevue, again, with a rise ball, is the opposite of what Felci threw. So you're hoping to get some whiffs here with 2 outs. Just to get Chloe Banks to maybe swing and miss. Try to get a strikeout here on some rise balls.
Need that experience, but this an example of being thrown into the deep end. Banks is going to make her work a tough at bat, that leadoff hitter in every way. And there she goes again, fouling it straight back. And we spot in the outfield here in Oklahoma City. The Michigan Wolverines have just entered the park. They'll be taking on Maryland after this. These are 4 teams competing through Sunday. There's a lot of the line here too, not just the experience and how cool this is for these players to play on this field, to come to a place that holds so much importance in the sport of softball, but you look at a team like Northwestern, they went 4-0, and that's propelled them to the top of the standings. They can really make a significant push with a good performance here in Oklahoma City for every one of these teams.
And it's interesting to me, you know, when you sit here in Oklahoma City and you watch these teams, and there's teams that, you know, their goal is to make it to regionals, and there's teams that their expectation is to be here in the end of May and early June and potentially try to win it at UCLA and Oregon. You know, that is their goal. Northwestern to make it back, and a great strikeout there, and you see the excitement from Bellevue to come out and get that K is huge.
She closes the door, and Wisconsin needing to extend this game in the bottom of the 6th.
Okay, Little Wendy's hack. If you want a super fresh, high-quality burger every time, tell them you want a hamburger. That's a hack, right? No? A hack-free burger made fresh for you? Gotta be Wendy's.
When being ignored isn't your idea of friendly service,
Hello?
Hello? Sarah?
it matters where you stay. Hilton, for this day.
Are they really going to spend all day streaming college football on DirecTV? Can you blame them? They've got the biggest rivalries.
And bowl games. Speaking of, Frank, run a slant to the bowl of chips. Bobby, button hook to the salsa.
What are you going to do, Coach Prime?
Don't question your coach, man.
Old Trapper Beefs. Energy emergency. your beef.
Ah, yes. Unleaded 88 can save you big at the pump.
And it helps cut emissions, if it's safe for your car.
As long as it's a 2001 or newer, you're good to go.
Speaking of good, it's made with corn, which is good for local farmers.
I mean,
farmers care more about...
Can somebody hand me that socket?
Wait.
Oh, found it.
Does anyone have a reason not to choose Unleaded 88? Thank you.
Whatever your reason, choose Unleaded 88. Engine smart, earth kind.
Purdue leading 9-1, and with that 8-run lead, the pressure is on Wisconsin to try and extend this game, plate a couple runs, and continue this contest. Otherwise, it's going to go as a run rule victory for Purdue in this first game of week 2 of the Big Ten takeover here in Oklahoma City. Kendall Klochek, though, outstanding today. Just 1 earned run, 4 hits allowed.
Yeah, this is going to be a tall order for Wisconsin right here because Klochek has been solid. She has a great defense behind her, too. They've made some really good plays, but she's really done a great job just allowing her defense to do the work behind her. She's gotten ahead in the count. And she's mixed her pitches well. She's used her changeup in a way, and Wisconsin has just not made the adjustments they've really needed to step in and do any kind of damage at all.
An example that you can show dominance, but just 1 strikeout.
Yeah. And you don't have to strike out batters if your defense is doing the work behind you. And really, the defense hasn't had to make crazy great plays because Klochek has thrown good pitches to force weak pop flies and weak ground outs. And again, that is a result of dominance to me. If you can throw pitches that allow good hitters to not hit the ball hard, if you can make a good hitter not square up on a pitch, then you are going to be successful. I mean, that is a win as a pitcher.
Tap to second, Meeks can't control it. And the leadoff hitter Schlosser will reach base here in the bottom of the 6th.
Maybe one of the harder hit balls right there that we've seen today, aside from the home run, of course, from Blomberg, who's coming up.
Blomberg responsible for the only scoring for the Badgers at the plate right now, a solo shot. She hits this one hard. Meeks again bobbles it, looking for 2, but they will get the lead runner 1 away.
Had she not bobbled that, that could have been a double play, but does a really good job. Once she bobbles it, picks it up with her bare hand. And because she picks it up with her bare hand, she's able to still get the lead runner in Schlosser. Good heads-up play there. And that sun really beaten down on that side of the field. You can see the visor and the sunglasses out.
Brooke Kuffel at the plate. Kylie Franks, or rather Emma King, is coming in at first base to pinch run.
King now running at first base for the Badgers. And re-entering for the Badgers, now batting 18, Brooke Kuffel.
So Kuffel has 1 runner on. Wisconsin needing to plate at least a run to extend this game to the 7th inning. And if you're Kendall Klochek, I'm sure you're hungry to close the door, get this run rule complete game victory. Popped up in the infield. And the grab is made by Scarmardo. 2 away.
Yeah, I mean, if you're Klochek, you've thrown a great game. You want the shutout. There's no doubt about that, that you know that you deserve that shutout at this point. Your defense has done a good job. Gotten a lot of those pop flies on the infield. Looking to finish it here.
Kendra Lewis, even her limited at-bats, always a threat. Sends it out to center field. The catch is made, and Purdue gets to celebrate its first victory here in Oklahoma City, and they did it in their style. The final 9-1 over Wisconsin.
Well, I think Purdue's offense was just solid. They found a way to make it happen with the short game, with their speed, and with the long ball. And quite honestly, I think they ran into a buzzsaw with Kendall Klochek. She was just phenomenal today. Her pitches were spinning, they were moving, and Wisconsin just could not settle in. An outstanding job from Purdue all the way around.
The final again, 9-1 Purdue over Wisconsin. Still 3 more days to compete here at Devon Park. We've got a doubleheader coming your way right after this. It's going to be Michigan against
To my son, I've never been the cool dad. I always want to know what he's up to online, but with TikTok's privacy settings being on by default for teens under 16, accounts are set to private. He cannot send or receive DMs, and only his friends can comment. So he can post away, and I've got one less thing to worry about.
So, Dad, how old do you have to be to get a tattoo?
Teen safety settings on by default.
Okay, Little Wendy's hack. If you want a super fresh, high-quality burger every time, tell them you want a hamburger. That's a hack, right? No? A hack-free burger made fresh for you? Gotta be Wendy's.
I don't have any updates.
Still haven't closed.
Larry, are we still on for 3?
I'm on the phone. When you and your team need space to work.
I didn't get that attachment.
I'm sending it.
And a place to eat.
Carl, is that mackerel?
No, it's trout. Has anyone seen my mayonnaise? I've been oh, found it. False alarm.
It matters where you stay.
Fish tacos?
Carl. Oh, yeah.
Hilton for the stay.
Are they really going to spend all day streaming college football on DirecTV? Can you blame them? They've got the biggest rivalries.
And bowl games. Speaking of, Frank, run a slant to the bowl of chips. Bobby, button hook to the salsa.
What are you going to do, Coach Prime?
Don't question your coach, man.
Old Trapper Beefs. Energy emergency. Old Trapper. What's your beef?
Ah, yes. Unleaded 88 can save you big at the pump.
And it helps cut emissions, if it's safe for your car.
As long as it's a 2001 or newer, you're good to go.
Speaking of good, it's made with corn, which is good for local farmers.
I mean,
farmers care more about.
Can somebody hand me that socket?
Wait.
Oh, found it.
Does anyone have a reason not to choose unleaded 88? Thank you.
Whatever your reason, choose Unleaded 88. Engine smart, earth kind.
You and auto owners help make it possible. It's the best thing that's ever happened to me.
Excuse me?
Third best thing. Auto Owners offers discounts for life, home, car, and business insurance because the more you protect, the more you should save. That's simple human sense.
Welcome in our Big Ten Live game break. Great to have you with us as we are in between games in Oklahoma City. Dave Revson, Sydney Supley just watched Purdue take down Wisconsin. Pretty impressive effort, really, offensively, on the mound. What stood out to you, Sydney?
It's the way that the Boilermakers continue to pour pressure on the Wisconsin defense, which you saw start to crumble towards the end, but Klochak on the mound. I mean, her first time going the entire distance this season. It was her off-speed, continued the momentum rolling for Purdue this entire game.
We will break down her performance in just a bit, but let's show you how this one went down between the Boilermakers and the Badgers. Pick it up top of the first. Runners on second and third. Julia Gossett bringing home the first runs of the game. Purdue, the early 2-0 lead, kind of setting the tone. Still up 2-0 in the fourth. Olivia Meeks back up the middle, and Purdue on top 3-zip. Lone hit of the game for Meeks. Now Wisconsin looking to respond. Hillary Blomberg can really hit, Sydney.
And that was the type of power she brought last season as a freshman. She's picked up exactly where she let off, and a little bit of life there for the Badgers, but not for long.
No, emphasis would be on a little bit. Delaney Reef here, the 2-run homer as Purdue wins it by the final of 9-1. Reef with Sloan Martin and Jenny Ritter.
Delaney, congratulations on this victory. You get your second home run of the season. Take us through what this victory feels like, putting up 9 runs, the long ball, the small ball, all of it working together.
Yeah, I mean, I think altogether our whole team just did the little things right, and coming off of a hard weekend against UCLA, we stuck with them, and we were all very proud of our performance, and we knew we had what it took. And so I think coming out this weekend, we were really excited to just stick to it, get the little things done.
Delaney, walk us through that home run at bat, that pitch that you saw, and that feeling you got after you hit it.
Yeah, you know, just a little bit of softball IQ, planning out what you think the pitcher's going to throw, you know, reading minds a little bit, taking your best guess. You know, that screwball, I knew that was my best pitch to hit right there, that at bat, and just went with it.
This is your first season playing at Purdue. You're the starting catcher. What did it make you feel to have the kind of performance that Kendall did today in the circle? She was dominant from the beginning.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, so proud. I mean, it really takes very specific placement and getting the spin just right at this level, and she just does that so well. So proud of her.
Delaney, congratulations on the win. More to come, I'm sure, here in Oklahoma City.
Thank you so much. Boiler up.
Really nice day for Delaney Reef. Again, the home run, a huge one for her, but also behind the plate, part of a masterful pitching performance. What stood out to you?
It was the way that Klochak used her off speed. But when we talk about Reef, I mean, that was a perfect time for your first collegiate home run, especially to come into this lineup after transferring from Maryland last year. Purdue has it all right now. They have not only the power, but 62 stolen bases right behind Oregon. And this is a team that's led by Coach Rizzotti, who's determined to change the narrative around Purdue softball.
A team that started 0-3 in Big Ten play, but as Delaney was saying, level of competition was pretty high. Not to minimize what they went up against today, but again, having to play UCLA right off the bat. And I know you believe this is a Purdue team that can really improve this year.
I thought you saw it last season when they made it to the Big Ten tournament. They started to win series they had never won before in program history. You mentioned it. They were in UCLA last weekend. A lot of people expected them to just roll over, but they were facing 1-run losses, 2-run losses, really surprising a lot of people in the country and in the Big Ten. So they're not a team to take lightly at all this season.
And again, part of the big story today was the performance on the mound from Kendall Klochak. What did you see there?
It was her ability to maintain the zone. That's what kept her through the entire 6 innings. And not only fire and strikes, but tunneled her pitches so well, and the way she was able to use her hard drop ball, her changeup at the same level, and then occasionally you saw that curveball and the rise ball. She was masterful today, and someone the Boilermakers are really excited for her future.
A good win for Purdue. They had lost the previous 3 matchups against Wisconsin. What do you make of the Badgers? This is a program that's had a winning season 2 of the last 3 years. Not a great performance today. Where do you see Wisconsin right now in the Big Ten?
it's really going to be focusing on doing the little things right. That's something when Wisconsin's able to do that, you see their best softball. They now have Mike Roberts as a pitching coach, someone who comes in with a lot of experiences at other places. You saw Gabby Salo try to battle it out for a few more innings. It's going to come down to their bats to get going. We saw it get going last year when Big Ten play rolled around, so that will be key for them if they want to stay within these slugfest games that have been the first week and a half here in Big Ten.
And again, Blomberg really set the Big Ten on fire last year, and we saw the one positive that came out of it. But again, it was Purdue's day, no doubt about it. Let's go back out to our crew in Oklahoma City.
Coach, it looked like your team was having so much fun out there. They're having fun behind you as well. You start off this week in Oklahoma City with a victory, put up 9 runs. Describe what you saw up and down the order to have contributions all over the place, and in different kinds of ways you were able to get runs on the board.
Yeah, totally. That was a full team effort, and if I had to describe Purdue's softball identity in a game, it would be that one, right? Like everybody knows what they're supposed to do, and they find a way to do it for the team. And we didn't settle. That's something that we've been working on, like making sure that we continue to go for it even when we're leading, even when we feel comfortable in the game, that we continue to put pressure and score runs and having really good performances on both sides of the ball.
Coach, Kendall Klochek was so good today. What did you see in her that made her so effective today?
You know, I don't know. I cannot wait to go and watch some film, but she was spotting and she was moving the ball really well, and even her misses were really good misses. So she gave us a very competitive outing, and obviously she was a stud out there.
How good does it feel when you start off a weekend like this playing here in Oklahoma City on this dirt to have this kind of win in the run rule variety to start off and try and kickstart this week after that loss, the series loss against UCLA most recently?
Totally. I feel like we all needed that. A little bit of validation. We knew we played really good softball last weekend, and we couldn't win one, right? So I think that kind of like fueled us and motivated us to show up today the way we did.
Coach, congratulations. Thanks again.
Thank you. Boiler up.
Well, show up they did, so a nice win for Purdue to start off our doubleheader. Sydney going to take us through the Big Ten. If you're just tuning in, the outset of the year here, get a sense for where the teams have been, where they're going, coming up next.